All right, what's going on, my friends? Now 3 o'clock. Your Portland Trailblazers are playoff bound. They topped the Suns last night in the play-in tournament, 114-110 at Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix. Denny Avdia was awesome. 41 points, 12 assists. Jeremy Grant made his return to the lineup. He had 16, including 2 big threes in the fourth. And Portland now will meet the 2-seed San Antonio. Game 1 of their first round of the NBA playoff series will be scheduled for Sunday evening. That tip-off will be at 6. Blazers game day will start at 4. Game 1 is Sunday in San Antonio. Game 2 will be on Tuesday night. Game 3 is back here in Portland on Friday night with Game 4 on Sunday. Coming up on the Rip City Drive, Casey Holdaw, Trailblazer Insider and Reporter, will join us at 3:20. And the voice of your Portland Trailblazers, Travis Demers, will stop by at 4:20.
Live from the Coors Light Studios, it's time for the Rip City Drive, hosted by the crazy and often irrational Chad Doing. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill.
With 0.6 of a second to play. 114-110 inbound. It's a Rip City winner. Bring on the Spurs. The Blazers are going to the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. The defense comes up with the biggest play of the night, and they win this game 114-110. What an effort by the Trailblazers. They finished the game on a...
Yeah, what's going on, my friends? Rip City Drive.
Oh.
Yeah, what's going on, my friends? Rip City Drive, and we have a lot of things to talk about after what went down last night in Phoenix with the Trailblazers securing a road win at Mortgage Matchup Center, and with it, they advance to the first round of the NBA playoffs. They will be the 7th seed, and they're going to take on the 2 seed, the San Antonio Spurs. And with everything that we've talked about over the last 2 to 3 weeks down the stretch of the NBA regular season, we knew that the best-case scenario would be for Portland to get to 8 and play Phoenix in the 7-8 matchup because you get 2 chances to win a game to make the postseason. But the best-case scenario was to win that game last night because you advance to take on San Antonio. And I realize the Spurs are one of the best teams in the NBA. And I also know that they've got Victor Wembanyama, who's a unicorn. I've never seen a guy at 7'4 or 7'5 that can handle the rock like a guard. Like, that's not normal. It's not an easy matchup. But I would much rather play San Antonio, a team with no playoff experience, compared to a team like Oklahoma City, who's coming off a championship run last year. So I'm really excited about this, and I thought last night's game was freaking awesome. And really, today, this is about you, Rip City. It's not about me. It's about you. We went through 5 years with no playoffs. We went through some dark days with the tanking and the team positioning themselves for the lottery. And now, after last night, the team is back in the postseason where they belong, and we're seeing the emergence of this young crew, the young core. And Denny Avdia, I think it's pretty clear now he's a number 1 option. He is a superstar player. He made the All-Star game this year, and rightfully so. And all this talk about, do the Blazers have a number 1 option? Is Denny Avdia a 2? Is he a 3? Can he be a 1 on a championship team? All I know is that the guy can absolutely score. He's a great facilitator. He's a great teammate. He showed toughness last night, and the Phoenix Suns had no answer for Denny Avdia. He just continued to attack. He was relentless. And what I love most about it, he spent less time complaining to the officials last night and just focused on being a physical basketball player, which he's great at. That was a big-time performance from a big-time player. And I think Denny Avdia, he kind of exemplifies everything that we love about Rip City. He's the prototypical perfect Trailblazer player. Great teammate, works his tail off, a lot of talent, and he's a big-time basketball player. And he showed it last night when the Blazers needed him most. He had 41 points and 12 assists in his first playoff game, and 14 of those coming in the fourth quarter. And it was Denny Avdia, my favorite stretch of the game. Late in the game, less than a minute to play, the Suns had the ball, and they were down by 1, and they had a chance to score to take the lead. And Shaedon Sharpe, who had had a horrendous turnover in the fourth quarter, playing in his first playoff game, he got switched on to Devin Booker. And I was concerned about that, as I'm sure you were. And he stayed in front of Booker. He forced a tough shot that barely caught the front of the rim. The Blazers got the rebound and were able to set up for that final shot by Avdia. And Avdia, he got the ball in his hands, and he wasn't going to pass. He wasn't looking for his teammates. He had one thing in mind. I'm going to attack the paint. I'm going to get to the rim, and I'm either going to score or get fouled or both. And he did both. And won. Blazers take the 2-point lead, and then they were able to force a 3-point miss from Jalen Green, who had 35 points. And then Goodwin grabbed the rebound, but Matisse Thybulle he showcased what he's done throughout the course of the year. He did what he does. He got a steal, threw ahead to Grant for the dunk, game over, 114-110. And oh, by the way, how about Jeremy Grant? Out for an extended period of time with the calf. We get the word he's going to come back and play last night, made his return. First time all year the Blazers have been healthy. And Grant, in his first game back following the injury, 16 points and 2 monster sack threes in the fourth. There were so many big ball moments in the fourth quarter. I'm just like, wow. I thought Drew Holiday had a big game. I thought Denny Avdia was freaking awesome, the best player on the floor last night. And the Blazer defense frustrated Devin Booker. And Dylan Brooks tried to be the hoe that he is and tried to bait the Blazers into a lot of problems. And he was successful at times, but the Blazers, in the end, were able to keep their domes and get the job done. And I think we saw the importance of playoff-type basketball last night. There were some good learning moments. Klingon got baited into a flagrant foul by Brooks. He threw him to the ground. It was a good flop by Brooks, and they got the flagrant. And it looked like at that point, it's like, what are you doing, man? At this stage of the game, you're going to lose your head? But after that, the Blazers were able to regroup. They closed the game on a 25-10 run, and it was a wild game of swings, a roller coaster type of a game last night. The Suns jumped out early to an 8-2 lead, and you're like, oh, great, here we go again. And then the Blazers recovered, down by 2 after 1. They go on a 26-8 run in that second quarter and build a 14-point lead. And at that point, I was like, dude, they're going to dominate tonight. And then the Suns close out the half on a 21-10 run, and Jalen Green with that ridiculous 4-point play at the end of the half. Blazers up 3 going into the third. And the third quarter, all of a sudden, everything just came to a screeching halt. 18 points in the period for Portland. They had a stretch where they scored 22 points in 17 minutes of game time. Not good. And the Suns closed the third on a 10-4 run. And before you know it, the Blazers' lead is down to 1 going into the fourth. And then the bottom fell out for a brief moment. 16-4 run to open up the quarter. Suns were up 11 with 7:13 to play. And at that point, I'm like, great, let's make our plans for Friday. And hopefully the Blazers can win a home game to get into the postseason and face Oklahoma City. And then the Blazers clutched up. Great move by Thiago Splitter to go small, which changed the game. The Blazers able to catch fire from downtown and hit some big shots, and Denny Avdia took over. And how about the Blazers last night? We talk about the margins and all the little things that they have to do to have success. Well, last night was a perfect example. They won points off turnovers, which is amazing because they turned the ball over in the second half at an alarming rate, but they won that number. They were plus 24 at the three-point line against a good three-point shooting team. That's amazing. And, of course, they had a small edge in second chance points. And those are always going to be the key numbers for Portland as they enter into the postseason against San Antonio. Second chance points, offensive rebounding, turnovers, and three-point makes. And the Blazers last night won all 3 categories and got the win. It was a beautiful game. And for all of us, a day of celebration. Because now Portland's playing with house money. No one thought they were going to win the game last night. No one thought they were going to be a playoff team, except for me. And no one gives them a chance against San Antonio. And I love that situation. It is Portland against the world. No one thinks you can do it. And that's a dangerous place to be. Because you have a chance to go out there and make some noise. And who's the pressure on in this series? Well, it's on the Spurs. The Spurs, right? One of the favorites to have a chance to win the title with no playoff experience. So I like where the Blazers are at. And most importantly, they're 100% healthy, which is great. Finally, we have a chance to see what they can do with their entire crew. But all in all, a great win. So your telephone number is 503-248-0620. And I want today's show, I'll tell you what I want. I want you to hear your voice on the radio. I want you to call me. I want to hear from Blazer fans. What'd you think about last night? What about Denny Avdia? What about this season? How do you look at the matchup with the Spurs? How excited were you with the game and the result last night? How many of you gave up on the game with 7:13 to play when they were down 11? Just all of it. 503-248-0620. In fact, let's go out to the phones right now We'll start today in Clackamas with Jerry. Jerry, welcome to the Rip City Drive, my man. What was your take on last night? Dude, it was so great, man, because he was trying to do whatever he could to get the Blazers out their game. But I thought for a young team, they showed some poise there, even when it got a little bit shaky. But the fact they came back from double digits down in the fourth quarter to win that game, that tells you about the heart and the mettle of this crew, man. It was awesome, Jerry. Oh, it's great. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, Jerry, hey, get. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Hey, Jerry, here's the best part. You get a couple of days to recoup and rest and get ready for game one on Sunday, my man. Yeah, no question about it. That's your telephone. I want to hear from you. Call me. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. I want to hear from you. Call me. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. You can fire away with your calls. Today is a day of celebration. And screw San Antonio, too, by the way. Like Charles Barkley says, their women are fat and their fans are annoying. And they've had great fortune over the years in the NBA lottery, which is very annoying. I never was down with Pop and his whole old Bitterman act anyways. Screw the Spurs. I want the Blazers to go in there. And like Denny Avdia said last night on Prime Video, when we are connected, when we are healthy, we are a dangerous basketball team. And I would agree with that assessment. They got a lot of pieces. And there's a lot of credit to go around when you have a season like this and you exceed expectation. This is called house money. And the Blazers with a great opportunity. All right, 503-248-0620. Fire away with your phone calls. Today is your day. It is your show. You take it over. Casey Holdog going to stop by next. We'll get his take on the game from last night. Travis Demers at 420. And the rest of the show is yours. All right? It's the Rip City Drive. Game one of the first round of the NBA playoffs coming up on Sunday. Blazers at Spurs. Tip off at 6. Game day will start at 4 with Chris Burkhardt on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
Holiday, pump fake, Brooks is in front of him, back to Denny, 10 to shoot. Under 2 minutes to play. Denny drives and kicks to Grant, corner three. Buries it! Another three for Jeremy Grant. Blazers lead, 107-106. They've erased an 11-point deficit in this quarter. Tumani Kamara will get it in. Finds Denny Avdia. Holds the ball up top. Defended by Goodwin. Is sitting on the ball. 17 on the shot clock. He wants movement. Down to 12 on the shot clock. Denny takes off. Drives, steps through. Puts it in and one. Blazers lead 111-110. And an and one opportunity here for Denny Avdia with 16.1 seconds to play.
Boy, how great was that, seeing Denny Avdia attack the rim, get the and one. Game over. And the one play that I want to make sure that we highlight that deserves credit, and I don't want it to be overlooked, Shaedon Sharpe on the Suns' offensive possession before the Denny and one, he stayed in front of Devin Booker and forced a horrific shot that hit the front of the rim. The Blazers got the rebound, called timeout, and set up for that final play by Avdia. But Shaedon Sharpe, with the defense on Booker, it was awesome. And the Blazers now move on to San Antonio for Game 1. And joining us is Trailblazer insider and reporter Casey Holdout. Casey, how much fun was that, baby? Well, Casey, you called it. We talked about it before the game. How about the Blazers plus 24 at the three-point line? They also won points off turnovers and second chance points. They did the little things that were necessary. They weren't perfect, but they got the little things done to get the win. I thought that was awesome. Yeah, there's no question about it. We're talking about Casey Holdout, Trailblazer insider and reporter here on the Rip City Drive. Going back to what you said about a team effort, I thought Scoot Henderson had some quality minutes in that game. And then how about Shaedon Sharpe where he had the horrific turnover in the fourth, but he had the wherewithal on the drive to find Grant open in the corner for the three, and then had that great defensive possession on Devin Booker. I thought both the young guys played really well. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's no question about it. You and I have talked about the togetherness of this team, and you've been around them all years, so you know how close they are. These guys really do like each other. But what I thought was really awesome last night, you could tell after the game how much this opportunity means to all the guys to be able to get through this and become a postseason member. Like, they were truly thrilled to get their first taste of postseason basketball, and that made me feel great. Yeah. for sure. Yeah, I feel the same way you do, Casey. They're playing with house money now because no one thought they would be here. And what I like about this matchup, look, I'm not delusional. I know San Antonio is a problem, but wouldn't you rather play a team in the first round with no playoff experience compared to the defending champs? Yeah. All right, I got one more question for you because you're around the players a lot. Denny Avdia, clearly a superstar. He was phenomenal last night, but what is something that you've learned about him that you appreciate that you appreciate about Denny that maybe the fans don't always get to see or know about him? It's awesome. Casey Holdahl, Trailblazer insider and reporter here on the Rip City Drive. Casey, thanks for making time, man. You and I talk before every game, and so it's nice to be able to share in the good moments with you. And I'm excited for Sunday, man. It's going to be fun, buddy. All right, buddy. We'll catch up soon, man. Thanks. All right, there's Casey Holdahl, Trailblazer insider and reporter here on the Rip City Drive. Let's go out to the phones. You know my request today. I just want to hear from you, man. This is all about you. Last night was awesome. Let's go out to Shane, who is in Portland. Shane, I appreciate the call, buddy. We talked yesterday before the game. How did the kids enjoy the game last night? Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. The one thing that jumped out at me last night, and I'm sure the players were probably really alarmed by it, is that the physicality, right? The officiating was hot garbage. Like those guys really put together a bad officiating game, but just seeing the way they allowed a lot of things to go, like that's playoff basketball, man. You gotta sack up and get ready to go because guys are gonna bang you. Dylan Brooks was being physical. I thought the Suns did a good job at throwing the Blazers off early with their physicality, and that's just playoff basketball. Yes. That's the way it is, man. Well, dude, I'm so happy, and I'm so glad you got to take that in with the kids, man. That's freaking awesome, Shane. Yeah, that's the best, man. Well, dude, get some rest, enjoy the next couple of days, and then we'll kick back and enjoy game one on Sunday. There you go. You got it. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. I'd love to hear from you. 503-248-0620. Man, let's do it. Let's go out to Ari, who's in Portland. Ari, appreciate the phone call, my friend. What was your takeaway on last night? Yeah, me too. Well, Ari, you know what's great? I'm glad you brought that up because that was a good reminder to me over the last couple of weeks. Like, you know, having the Blazers be out of the playoffs for 5 years and seeing them make the push and beat the Clippers and get the number 8 seed and what happened last night, it was a good reminder that, man, and I had a couple of people reach out like it's fun, right? It's just fun to sit back and watch your team, your young guys have success. And now we get a chance to sit back and enjoy a playoff series. It's fun. It's awesome. Yeah. Well, that's a good point. I appreciate it. Ari, you're welcome to call the show anytime. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. Well, I think Oklahoma City would be difficult. My guess would be on the Thunder is that they've been slow playing it a little bit before the postseason because once you win a championship and you know what it takes, you're not going to kill yourself trying to get to the postseason. So I expect the Thunder to crank it up several notches as they kick off the postseason. And you're right. The problem with Wembanyama is like the guy's a unicorn. I've never seen anything like that in the NBA. So there's nothing you can do to really replicate that. No one's got that guy. But the advantage of playing a team like the Thunder and getting beat in the first round is that you get a chance to watch how a team a championship team operates on both ends. Their execution on offense, the way they're committed, all five guys to defending, and everything I've talked about with the postseason, the preparation and the scouting. Think about this. 4 days until they kick off that first round series against the Spurs. The assistants and the coaches are going over the film. They're doing a detailed game plan. They're trying to identify your weaknesses. And if you have them, they'll be exposed. And that's the real pressure. What's the answer for Wembanyama? I have no idea. He's a freak. All right. Appreciate Ari. I appreciate all of you. 503-248-0620. Hit me up, man. This is a day of celebration. Let's talk about this. And Travis Demers will join me at 420 right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, telephone number 503-248-0620. I'm going to be honest with you because that's how I roll. When I walked into the studio today, I almost had an aneurysm. The work crew that is remodeling our entire studio, I come in and there's like this plastic stuff down and they're getting ready to paint the walls. Everything's down. And they just literally about to I've got like steam coming out of my ears. And I've got a show I've got like steam coming out of my ears. And I've got a show to do. And I'm just like, what are these guys doing? The construction guys, I'm amazed at how quickly they can work, but they're complete buffoons. It's like, hey, idiots, this is my workspace. I know that you have to paint the walls, but you can't just come in and start throwing stuff around. So anyways, I hate it. I don't like being at the station right now. It's complete chaos. It's like a zoo in here. And I came in, and of course, I wish I wasn't here. I should have done a remote broadcast from like Studio C or home or wherever, but I was trying to be a good team player. You know, show up at work, be in the studio. Couple of meetings. People are excited right now. I've had more emails from coworkers that I've never talked to face-to-face about the Blazers in the last 24 hours. Never heard from these people. And all of a sudden, they're just blowing me up. Because everyone's lost their mind over the Blazers making the postseason, which is great. But basically right now, if you wear a hard hat and you're in this building, I don't like you. Because you're crazy. These guys are out of control. Out of control. You want to do something outside of the studio, that's fine, but don't mess up my workspace. But they don't care. Plastic everywhere. Everything's off the wall. Hey, at least they didn't throw any of my stuff away this time. I guess that's a win. So there is some improvement there. They haven't trashed my stuff. 503-248-0620. But I want to hear from you today. It's all about you. It's a celebration. That game last night was freaking awesome. How about Denny Avdia? You think that guy's the number one option? 41 points and 12 assists? I mean, gracious. Settle down, Denny. He was freaking awesome. He played his best game in the biggest moment, and now the Blazers are off to the postseason. And when he got the ball in that final possession for the go-ahead bucket and the and one, he wasn't looking to pass. He's like, I got this. And he just attacked the paint. He is a fearless individual with the basketball in his hands. I love Denny. I love Denny Avdia. Let's go out to Dave in Clackamas. Dave, my man, what's cracking? What'd you think about that game last night? Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I do. Oh, it's exciting. Hey, Dave, it's great to hear your voice, my friend. You're right. It's a moment of celebration, man. It's fun. I'm excited about the playoff series. I can't wait. Yeah. Oh, there's no question. Yeah. Yeah. No, Dave, I appreciate the phone call. Thank you. It is. It's a celebration, man. It was fun last night. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. Let's go out to Mary in Southeast. Mary, welcome to the show. How great was that last night? Yeah. Yeah. Circus tummy. I love it, man. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got it. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Show me your blazer. I'll get to Amazon Prime in a couple of minutes. Let's go out to Charlie in Vancouver. Charlie, what's up, man? What's your takeaway from last night? Charlie, talk to me. Yeah, what's cracking? What's up, buddy?
What's his name was 10 feet from the
Yeah.
what's his name was 10 feet from the basket, would have scored over Dame or most other guards in the NBA, but instead it was, no, I'm staying down. This is a new Blazer team. You ain't coming up with that crap. You're going to have to beat me on a three-point play. Great job, Blazers. So much fun to watch. Much respect.
Yeah, Charlie, I appreciate the phone call. And also the defense from Shaden Sharp at the end of the game on Devin Booker, forcing a bad shot that hit the rim. The Blazers got the rebound, and Denny completed that. They closed that game on a 25-10 run to get the victory. All right, when we come back, we're going to hear from Denny following the game last night, and I want to hear from you, 503-248-0620. 503-248-0620. Let's celebrate this, man. What'd you think about that game last night? How about Denny Avdia, 41 points and 12 assists? This is a very good song, by the way. It makes me want to sing because I'm in a good mood. 503-248-0620. Travis Demers joins me at 420. We'll hear from Denny Avdia coming up next. It's now 4 o'clock. Your Trailblazers are playoff bound.
Holiday, pump fake. Brooks is in front of him. Back to Denny. 10 to shoot. Under 2 minutes to play. Denny drives and kicks to Grant. Corner three. Buries it! Another three for Jeremy Grant. Blazers lead 107-106. They've erased an 11-point deficit in this quarter.
Yeah, they topped the Suns in the play-in tournament, 114-110. Denny Avdia, awesome. 41 points, 12 assists. Jeremy Grant made his return, 16, including 2 big threes in the fourth. Portland's going to meet San Antonio, the 2 seed in the West. Game 1 of the first-round NBA playoffs scheduled for Sunday evening. Tip-off at 6. Blazers game day with Chris Burkhardt will kick off at 4 o'clock. I want to hear from you today on the show, 503-248-0620 to reach out to me. It's a day of celebration. Travis Demers is going to join me coming up at 4:20, and we're going to hear from Denny Avdia coming up next. The best things about the Blazers getting into the postseason is that we don't have to. One of the best things about the Blazers getting into the postseason is that we don't have to explain the play-in tournament to our friends anymore because it's over. So awesome. And both games last night were sensational. The ending of the Heat and Hornets was wild. It looked like LaMelo Ball was going to be the donkey of the night for his decision-making. And then he had an incredible drive and a bucket with just a few seconds on the clock. Miami elected not to call timeout, went straight down the court. Big block shot, game over. Hornets win straight into the Blazers game, which was pretty wild. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. I want to hear from you today. Travis Demers coming up at 4:20. Before I get to Amazon and how ridiculous the decision by the NBA was to eliminate local broadcasts in the postseason, let's hear from Denny Avdia. He is my favorite player on the team. He is a star player, made the All-Star team, 41 points and 12 assists, and I'm happy for him. And he had a chance to catch up with the crew from Amazon Prime last night following the game.
Drew Holiday has 95 playoff games. As a team combined, you guys have 116. Yeah. Can you just talk about his impact in that locker room and having a champion around you guys?
I mean, you can't take it away from him. You know, he's a champion, and I feel like the way he talks to us and also, like, if we need help, how he guides us on the court, he's doing a great job. That's what he's been doing, since he started playing. I feel like he's a leader, and he's doing a great job of, staying together, like making sure that we're connected and our camaraderie is good. So, I mean, big ups to Drew.
Congrats, Danny. Nice chain. Looking good on you. Looking forward to the playoffs. Now you got the Spurs. What do you think of that matchup?
I mean, they're a great team. Very talented. They're young too, so they don't have a lot of playoff experience as well. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a fight. We're gonna bring everything we got, and I really believe in the guys. We can do everything we want. Therefore, staying together, connected, and we'll be ready to play.
Jenny, you all got Jeremy Grant back, got Shaedon Sharpe back recently, and with the exception of Dame, of course, tonight was the first time that you were really fully healthy all season. What is this team capable of at that full strength?
As I said, I feel like if we're together, connected, and everybody's healthy and ready to play, I feel like we're a dangerous team. Everybody can do a lot of things on the court. We're connected, we're together, and we fight. We fight till the last minute, and that's what's important in the team. Especially when Dame's going to come back, it's going to be big for us. But for right now, we're just staying together, focused. We're going to get ready, and the job is not done yet. So can't wait for the playoff.
Denny, you have to be feeling good. I mean, you were on fire tonight.
I'm tired.
In a moment like this, with so much on the line, I mean, what does it really do for you? You seem to really like these bright lights in the big moments.
I feel like since I started playing, I was, I'm not afraid of the bright lights. I'm a competitor. I come to the game to win every possession, and I really want it. Like, I work hard for it. I'm extra hours in the gym. I'm trying to be a leader on the team, and I don't have the words right now to how happy I am that I had the chance to make it to the playoffs for the first time. Well, for the first time.
You're not trying to be a leader. You are, man. Just lead by the way you play. They got to follow you when guys see you going downhill like that. Making the plays you make, it's inspiring. So there's no trying. You are a leader.
Absolutely. Headed to the playoffs, the Blazers, for the first time since 2020, 2021. Can you give us a little hold up of the chain? Show us your bling?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. There's Denny following the game last night with the Amazon Prime crew. And by the way, what a disaster. They're looking for cash. Like any of these big corporations, they're looking for cash. Like any of these big corporations, looking for the almighty dollar. But the NBA made a horrific decision to get rid of the local television broadcasts for the NBA playoffs. And what was ridiculous last night, it was pretty obvious that the play-by-play dude for Amazon, he hasn't seen the Blazers play this year. It's just a disservice to the fans because you want to be able to watch your crew call your game because they know all the ins and outs of your team. And that's why I thought Travis last night was so good on the call. And a lot of people listened to the game on radio last night because of that. Amazon Prime was, not great. Not great, Bob. That was a bad decision by the NBA and a really disservice to the fans. But I'm excited for Travis because he gets a chance to paint the picture for you. But, I mean, come on, man. Not that I would expect someone to watch Portland Trailblazer basketball this year if you're outside of the market, but it just shines through in that moment in a game like that when you don't have Kevin Calabro or Lamar Hurd or any of the other local markets who don't get a chance to listen to their broadcast team. But both games last night were sensational. Now, tonight, we get more NBA play-in action. And the Blazers now are onto the postseason, so they don't have to worry about anything. But tonight, 4:30, so here in about 30 minutes, Magic are in Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. And then at 7 o'clock, you've got the Warriors and the Clippers. So the Magic and Sixers are the 7-8 game like we saw last night with Portland and Phoenix. Warriors and Clippers are the 9-10 matchup, and those two teams are vying for a chance to play Oklahoma City. So whoever wins that game will move on to Phoenix to face the Suns, and the winner of that game will take on Oklahoma City in round number 1. And there you have it. That's how it's shaken out. Now, another guy who was really happy after the game, Tamani Kamara. Travis Demers caught up with him on the floor after the Blazers topped the Suns 114-110.
Tamani, come on. Congratulations, man. Your first taste of playoff basketball against the team that drafted you. You got the win. You're down 11 in the fourth quarter. Defense stepped up and you made shots. How are you guys able to put it together down the stretch of this one and come away with the biggest win of your career?
Stay composed, man. Stay composed. They had a big run with 7 minutes left. They were up 10. Stay composed, man. Trust the process, man. We have veterans in this team that really keep us composed the whole game. Can't stop defensively. That's what we've been all year. Trust our defense, and Denny was making big plays offensively, man. There's nothing to say.
Yeah, not too bad to have him on your side tonight, but playoff basketball is different. There was a very clear physicality in this game. What did you notice in postseason basketball, and how did you guys respond to it?
Man, I don't know. I'm finally going to the playoff, man. Yes, sir. Let's do it. Appreciate you, brother. You too, fan. Welcome back. Yeah, it's just, man, I don't know. It's just fun, man, to play to win. To play for something again, you know, it's something that I miss for real. Yeah. That's why I play the sport, you know. So yeah, it just feel great, man. I don't know what to say.
Hey, Jeremy just walked by you. He's back. This team is healthy. Tonight was the first game this season, with the exception of Dame, this team was healthy. What kind of momentum do you guys have right now?
It's appreciate you, B-Dot. Yeah, I mean, stay composed, man. Like I said, I feel like being able to have everybody back is the first time this year. It feels good. Yeah, man, we just got to keep it rolling. It was not even a good game for us today, and we was able to find a way to win, and I think we're gonna be just fine. I like our matchup, so yeah, we just got to stay composed, like I said.
I can hear it in your voice, man. I don't know if you're going to touch the ground. You might float to the locker room. You sound great, man. Great job tonight. Congratulations. We'll see you on the plane.
Appreciate you, man. I'll see y'all.
I love that. Tamani's always honest. He's like, hey, we didn't even play a great game. We still found a way to win. And he's right. They did not play great basketball for certain stretches of that game. The start of the fourth quarter was horrendous. Most of the third quarter, their execution on offense was subpar. Their best stretch came in the second quarter on that 26-8 run. And then the back half of the fourth quarter, they were down 11 with 7:13 to play, and they come back and win it. They outscored them 25-10 from that point forward. It's pretty remarkable. That was a big-time game. I thought Denny Avdia showed that he has gigantic balls. He has big balls. Denny Avdia is Mr. Big Balls now. Giant sack. He's like, look, this is my game. I'll take it over. I'll make sure we get the win. He was not going to pass the ball in that final possession. He's like, I'm going to get to the rack. I'm either going to score or get fouled. He got both. And Jeremy Grant, absolute ice water in his veins. Coming back for his first game after missing, a few weeks. 16 points, had a couple of monster threes in the fourth. It was awesome. I mean, Jeremy Grant, fearless in his play.
Holiday, pump fake, Brooks is in front of him, back to Denny, 10 to shoot. Under 2 minutes to play. Denny drives and kicks to Grant, corner three. Buries it! Another three for Jeremy Grant. Blazers lead, 107-106. They've erased an 11-point deficit in this quarter.
They did. Jeremy Grant was terrific. He was big time. I thought Shaedon Sharp's defense on Booker in the final minute was unexpected and great. Donovan Clingan had some moments. I think Casey told us this. Pretty much everyone that played made a contribution. How about Matisse Thybulle with the steal on the Suns' final possession when they had a chance to tie or take the lead? Gets the steal on Goodwin, kicks it ahead to Grant for the game-winning dunk. And what's great, I was talking about this with Burkhart yesterday, the Blazers being at full strength now, they've got Tamani Kamara, Drew Holiday, Matisse Thybulle. All three are terrific perimeter defenders, and all three of them defend in a different way. So they've got the ability to throw different looks at different offensive stars. And we saw that last night with Devin Booker. I thought the Blazers did a great job on him. I did not expect Jalen Green to go wild with 35 points, but a good defensive effort. We'll come back. What went down last night, and we'll look ahead to the matchup with the Spurs. What went down last night, and we'll look ahead to the matchup with the Spurs. This town might cease to exist if they upset San Antonio in round number 1. Now, that would be awesome. But before we get to that point, I need a few days I need a refractory period. I need to recover from that last night so I can get ready for Sunday. The refractory period is very important in these type of moments, as you know. All right, 503-248-0620. Travis Demers coming up next here on the Rip City Drive.
Tumani Kamara will get it in. Finds Denny Avdia. Holds the ball up top. Defended by Goodwin. Is sitting on the ball. 17 on the shot clock. He wants movement. Down to 12 on the shot clock. Denny takes off. Drives. Steps through. Puts it in and one. Blazers lead 111-110. And an and one opportunity here for Denny Avdia with 16.1 seconds to play.
And how good was Travis Demers last night in the call? Had a lot of people reach out saying they listened to the radio the entire game, and they hadn't done that in a long time. And that's because the only broadcast was on Amazon Prime Video, so people went to the radio to get Travis to get the local coverage, and he nailed it last night. What a game. 114-110. Portland now will get ready for the Spurs. Game 1 coming up on Sunday. And joining me right now is the man on that call, Travis Demers. TD, what a game last night, buddy.
Dude, that was awesome. You know what really makes me proud about this team, Chad, is that how many times over the last 6 years, including this season, 5 years, whatever it is, that there was a big moment and we thought something great could happen and it didn't, and they wilted and we're disappointed and we were left with that feeling that's sick to our stomachs. Well, in the last couple of weeks, they've done the opposite of that. The big games that you thought, okay, maybe they're going to not get this done, well, they did. They won on the road against the Clippers. They beat the Clippers at home. They took care of business when they needed to. And then in this situation, after blowing a 14-point lead and being down 11 in the fourth quarter, and then the Suns having the ball with a chance to tie or win in the final possession of the game, they came through. And it's so satisfying because we just haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah, it was awesome, Travis. I really enjoyed last night. I thought Denny Avdia, he's been so unselfish as a player throughout the year, but I like the fact that he was a little more selfish last night in the fourth quarter, and when he got the ball in that final possession for the go-ahead bucket, he had no plans on passing that basketball. He's like, get out of my way. I got this. I'm either going to get fouled, score, or both, and he got both.
Yeah, to your point about him not being selfish, I mean, there's a reason why he has had so many double-doubles this year, and he's had to have that mentality of a passer. Well, last night, it's leadership. It's understanding the situation. It's, knowing how to go get a bucket. And we've talked about it, Chad. You got to have a closer, right? To win in the postseason, you got to have a closer, someone who can make that play down the stretch of the season. Whether it's, a guy like, Jalen Brunson comes to mind, right? Do the Blazers have that guy? And I think everybody for a long time has said no. Well, last night, then he proved that he can be that guy. And just because he might not be a superstar, he might be, but he might not be. But because you don't have that one guy that I think the outside looks at and says, that's the guy where you give him the ball and he's going to go make a play. He showed that he can be that guy. And this team needs that guy, and they needed that guy last night, and he was that guy over and over again.
Yeah, there's no question about it. He was so good. The other play that I'm really trying to highlight because it deserves more credit than it's going to get because it gets lost in all the Denny Avdia plays. I thought Shaedon Sharpe, his defense on the possession prior that set up Denny for the game-winning bucket, staying in front of Booker, forcing a tough shot that hit the front of the rim. The Blazers able to secure the rebound. I was so proud of Shaedon in that moment because he had the bad turnover, but he recovered by finding Grant in the corner for the three, and then he had great defense on Booker.
Yeah, to your point, everybody stepped up. And the fact that, Shaedon has played, 3 games now since February 6th, and Jeremy Grant had not played since the middle of March. Those guys have stepped in, and Jeremy has picked up right where he's left off. He's been fantastic, and that's exactly what this team has had to have. It's what they've needed. And Shaedon might not be totally in a rhythm yet, but he's playing really good, smart, unselfish basketball. And this team has really had to have that to win in these situations, right? Because you can't just, play me ball. You can't just, force things. And while, to your point, Denny has been unselfish, he hasn't forced things. And his teammates have stepped up when they've needed to. And to have Shaedon be able to play defense where that was his biggest knock at one point, that has really helped this team because you're not going to be on the floor if you can't play defense. Look at all of the wings that can play defense. And, we've seen situations where, Matisse Thybulle will sub in for Denny Avdia because they need someone who's going to come in and play lights-out defense. Not that Denny can't do it, but you're relying on him for other things. Shaden Sharp has been able to stay on the floor because he is playing defense.
Well, I thought the Blazers did a pretty good job of handling the adversity. After further review, when I saw the replay in slow-mo a couple times, I think Dylan Brooks may have flopped on that toss down by Donovan Clingan. Have you seen the replay? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I think it was Kevin O'Connor who put it out today. He kind of highlighted that. And, in real time, it didn't look like much. And the other thing, too, is they didn't call a foul, right? So you don't call a foul, but you're going to look at the monitor. And that was a little confusing to me. I definitely think Dylan Brooks flopped because that's what he does. He was trying to bait Clingan, and it worked. And he flopped and got the flagrant. Fortunately, that didn't come back to cost the Blazers the game, but it was a big play in the game. And those are the kind of things those little things here and there where, it's one play, it's one possession in a close game. That's not the reason why the result goes one way or another, but it can dramatically change the impact of the game. Like, look at the Blazers in Denver. The foul on Robert Williams III, that shouldn't have been one. Jokic hits 2 free throws, and it changes the final few minutes of the game.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. I like what Tamani told you after the game where he's like, hey, we didn't even play our best game and we still find a way to win. I mean, that's another reason for optimism as they move forward, Trav, is that there's a lot of teaching moments from the game last night, but getting down by 11, fourth quarter with 7:13 to play, and you close the game on that run and find a way to win on a night when you don't have your best stuff, that's a good sign.
Yeah, and look, the team was not shooting great from three, and they got out of a rhythm early because that's all they were doing was taking threes, and you look at what Phoenix did, they didn't make a three in the first quarter, and that is a huge part of their offense. You took them out of their game, and it worked for them for a little bit, but it didn't work forever. So for the Blazers, finding a rhythm and now being in the postseason and being able to make adjustments and really focus on things, I think they're going to have an opportunity to play some really, really good basketball here, but they have to be smart.
We're talking to the voice of your Trailblazers, Travis Demers, here on the Rip City Drive. All right, so for the Blazer fans who don't watch a lot of San Antonio basketball, they know about Wemby, but maybe they don't watch a lot of Spurs hoops. What do they do well? What can you tell us about San Antonio as we get ready for the series?
Well, look, man, I saw this after the Blazers lost to the Spurs last week. Well, yeah, you lost to the Spurs, and they didn't have Wemby or Stephon Castle. So they're 12-5 this year without Wemby. Without Castle, they're still a top 10 defense in the league. They are really, really deep. They're incredibly well coached. And yes, a big part of that absolutely comes down to Mitch Johnson being a protege of Greg Popovich. By the way, Mitch Johnson, former University of Portland assistant coach.
Nice.
They have a lot of depth, right? And I think you look at their starting lineup and like, oh man, they're starting Julian Champagnie. He's good. And he's in the perfect spot for what he does. Keldon Johnson coming off the bench has been terrific this season. Devin Vassell has been great. They've got depth at every single position. And I know you look at that last game and saw Carter Bryant hit 5 threes. That's not what he does, man. He was shooting 31% from three going into that game. He's not really a big part of their rotation. But they have so much depth that regardless of who is injured, and they are a smart team, there's a reason why they beat the Thunder 3 times this year.
Yeah, no question about it. They look really good. But this set up perfectly everything we've talked about. Like, I would rather face the Spurs with Wemby in round number 1 because they have no playoff experience compared to Oklahoma City. I mean, do you see it the same way?
I would rather face the Spurs for a few reasons. And honestly, I really don't think the playoff experience thing matters that much, especially when you're talking about the first round. The Spurs are so good and so deep, and they've got guys who have won. I mean, Harrison Barnes is still coming off the bench for them, and he's won a championship. He's kind of like, I would not the skill, because I think Drew Holiday is a much more viable player today. But in terms of that veteran leadership who has been there and won championships, they have Harrison Barnes for that. That's exactly what he's there for and why he's stuck around. But with the Thunder, the way that they defend in the half court, and you know what it's like in the NBA in the playoffs, it becomes much more of a half court game. And you have to be able to play in the half court. The Thunder are a tremendous half court team, and the latitude that they are given by officials to defend and be physical, that's something that you really can't compete with. And I didn't want to have to see that and get frustrated by that. And frankly, I don't like the Thunder in any way, shape, or form, And if they won that series against the Blazers, I did not want to have to watch them celebrate, especially in Portland if it was a sweep.
Hey, what did you notice in regard to the officiating? How was it different than what you've seen in the regular season with the game last night?
In terms of the consistency, I didn't notice anything at all because it was wildly inconsistent. And that was a good crew last night too. So I was really disappointed by the inconsistency in the way that they called the game. And it's not that they were biased towards one team or anything like that. I mean, you look at what Suns fans are saying today, and they're blaming the officials. I don't know how many chants there were last night of refs, you suck. Every team is going to look at a call that doesn't go their way and blame the officials and say the officials had it out for them. It's ridiculous. But I noticed that they allow a lot more physicality, right? They let a lot more things go. And the Blazers are built for that. You look at the guys that can be physical. Obviously, Donovan Clingan, Denny Avdia, Tamani Kamara, Scoot Henderson. These are all really physical players. But what the Blazers are going to have to do in this series is let it go, right? They can't sit there and allow themselves to be overly frustrated by calls and let it take away from plays. And I've seen a number of plays, even in the last 10 games where they've been playing great basketball, where after a no call, somebody will complain to the officials and miss getting back on defense or something, and it costs them a bucket. Those are the kinds of things that you can't let happen.
All right, Travis Demers, a voice of the Trailblazers. Game 1's coming up on Sunday. Tip-off will be at 6. Game day with Chris Burkhardt at 4, and I'll have the pregame show at 5 o'clock. So, Travis, you're going to take off probably on Saturday to get to San Antonio?
Yeah, I would think so. I haven't seen the details yet, but that would be my expectation, yeah. So we got a couple of days off. No practice today. I would imagine we'll practice the next couple of days. And you want to hear something magical, Chad? I slept till 1 o'clock today. I got home at 4 a.m. Took me an hour to fall asleep, and I slept till 1.
That is a beautiful thing right there, Travis. I freaking love that, man. It's nice to be able to have the 4 days off, not just for the players to be able to rest and recoup, but for us because, man, between the Clipper game on Friday all the way to the end of the regular season into that Wild game last night, I need a couple of days to recoup and get ready for the playoff series. That was awesome last night.
Yeah, 100%, man. And then with the travel, in the last couple of weeks, going to San Antonio and Denver, and that Denver game or the San Antonio game was an 8:30 local time start. We got home super late, and then you got to try and assimilate back to regular life, and it messes with you. So to have a couple of days to kind of get some rest and recenter yourself, I think everybody needs it. And that's obviously for us too, but for the players, being able to win that game last night and knowing where they're going to go, not having to prepare for a game on Friday, and not having to pack your bags on Friday for a game that might be the last game of your season. I don't know if people think about that. You go play on Friday night, you're going to have an early flight to Oklahoma City on Saturday. You got to be ready with your bags packed on Friday night. And, that's just another thing to think about. And you don't want to have anything at all taking your focus away from the task at hand.
All right, Trav, you're the man, dude. Thanks for the time. Enjoy your rest, and I can't wait for Game 1. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, and I can't wait for Game 3, Chad, which will be a week from Friday, because you and I have talked about it. It's been 7 years since a capacity crowd has been in there for a playoff game, and this fan base has dealt with so much over the last 5, 6, 7 years. Rip City deserves it, and I can't wait to hear what that building sounds like on Friday night.
It's going to be rocking, man. People are jacked out of their minds after last night. So, dude, enjoy it. I can't wait to hear you on Sunday.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. There's Travis Demers, the voice of your Trailblazers. Yeah, he was Johnny on the spot last night. Great call from Trav.
Holiday, pump fake. Brooks is in front of him. Back to Denny. 10 to shoot. Under 2 minutes to play. Denny drives and kicks to Grant. Corner 3. Buries it.
Boom. And the Blazers get the win 114-110. I felt good about their chances going into the game, but, I didn't see the game playing out the way it did, where the Blazers get the big lead. They give it up. They're down by double digits with 7 minutes to go. I did not envision a 25-10 run to close the game at that point. Let's just put it that way. Honestly, I was making plans for Friday. I did not see the comeback, but the Blazers put it together. And I'm happy. The Suns were very annoying last night, especially Dylan Brooks. I respect Dylan Brooks. I don't dislike the guy. I would love him if he was a member of the Trailblazers, but he's not. So therefore, he is annoying. Unfortunately, for Blazer fans, you don't get the local television crew for the first round of the playoffs. It's dumb. It's really dumb. Dum-dums. Instead, we get the national crew. Now, if I'm listening to Iron Eagle, I'm always happy about that because that guy's money. But the guy last night, have you seen the Blazers play this year? Does anyone outside of Portland know how to pronounce Denny Avdia's name too, by the way? Now, I want to give credit to Troy, who reached out to me via text. And I think he's 100% right because last night it was really irritating me. Troy says, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. Anytime someone starts a sentence with that, you know they're about to be a Debbie Downer. I love that. Anytime someone says, I don't want to do this, but you know they're about to do that. So Troy says, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer after that win, but it does need to be pointed out that Denny Avdia missed 6 huge free throws. He needs to make at least 4 of those 6 misses, if not 5 or all 6, and the game would have been completely different. But still stepped up and had a phenomenal night, and obviously it was a great win. But I think he needs to get into practice and start shooting 500 free throws a day. I'm with you, Troy. I think you're dead on. And I was grumbling in Studio C last night to the captain. I'm like, dude, what's he doing at the foul line? Are you trying to make free throws with the force? You got your eyes closed? Hey, Denny. And I looked it up. He's a career 77% shooter at the foul line. And I think he's right at 80 this year. He needs to be in the 90s. He's too good of a basketball player and too pure to be missing that many free throws in a critical game. And it's not like last night was the first time that's happened this year. He's had many games where he's missed multiple free throws. And the Blazers have lost games this year because of their inability to make free throws. I don't understand. I really don't. I have no idea how Denny Avdia is not a 90% free throw shooter. And so hopefully he'll continue to improve and work on that craft. Now, I have seen a lot of guys in the NBA who started out as a subpar free throw shooter, but by the end, they were dominant. Magic Johnson comes to mind. When he first got in the league, not a great free throw shooter. By the end, 90%. There's been a lot of guys like that. But Denny Avdia, you're not Shaq, dude. Make your free throws. Seriously, that stuff is what I mean, he especially as much as he's going to get to the foul line. 80% is not bad, but he needs to be better. He should be in the 90s. With that stroke and his ability, it's like, come on, Denny. I don't accept missed free throws. It drives me bonkers, all right? Just like with Shaq, Rick Barry, who was amazing at the foul line, he shot him underhand because he was like, he just went granny shot and he was money, 90+%. He was willing to work with all these dudes like Shaq and stuff. He's like, I could turn them into a 90% free throw shooter. But of course, they didn't want to work with Rick Barry and they continued to put up bricks. What would Shaq have averaged per game if he had made free throws at a high clip? All right, David Michaelis chimes in. Hey, tell your boy Troy to shut up. Booker evened out the free throws, and Booker is elite. It's pretty funny. Booker was putting up bricks at the foul line, too. What's up with that guy? I'm sorry. I am. Just pull up the sports science. Go to YouTube and pull up sports science. If you put it in the search bar, it says sports science, Sasha Vujacic. Then you'll understand why I think any excuse that any of these clowns make about missing free throws is unacceptable. Sasha Vujacic, the guy that wore the hair thingy for the Lakers. Put him in the search bar at YouTube, youtube.com, Sasha Vujacic, sports science, and watch that video. It's amazing. They were trying to figure out why Shaq was horrible at free throws and Sasha was money. And so they put him on stilts. They put like oversized hands on him. All these different things. And he still just swish, swish, swish. Why? Because he had practiced so much that the muscle memory, it didn't matter what you put him on. Put him on stilts, give him oversized hands. He was still making throws. All right, we'll keep things rolling. 503-248-0620. Come on, Danny, make your free throws. And I'm not going to complain about a guy that dropped 41 and 12, but he could have had 50 last night. He was making his free throws. Come on, Denny. Help me help you. All right, we'll keep things rolling. I want to hear from you. 503-248-0620. Your phone calls are coming up next. All right, let's go out to the phones. Today is a day of celebration. I want to hear from you, your thoughts on last night. Maybe your take on the matchup with San Antonio. Let's go out to a James in Portland. James, welcome to the Rip City Drive. What's on your mind?
Chaz, Rip City.
Yeah,
baby.
Rip City, baby.
Believe this. Dude, it was good to see them back. It was good to see Grant play defense, and it was good to see, it was good to see them back. It was good to see Grant play defense, and it was good to see, just Sharp after 3 games jump through the sky on that dime from Denny.
Oh, yeah.
And easy out our boy Obvious, Chad. Jeez, it's because he gets hacked, dude. I call Denny's like the white SGA, except he gets fouled. I mean, and he takes it to the rack, dude. I mean, you remember that game we used to play with Pizza Brothers growing up called Mickey Thompson Racing, where you would jam on the nitro button, dude?
Yes.
That's Obvious driving the lane, too. I mean, he gets hacked, gets up off the ground. What do you want to make every shot, Chaz? I do, too. But, I mean, at least gets hacked, brother.
No, that's
great.
great.
And shout out to Trav, dude. It's been a while since he's been sitting next to you in the studio. I mean, the guy's money play-by-play, that's a given. But, dude, his breakdowns, just the thing, he can break down a game with the best of them. And one other thing I'm looking forward to against the Spurs, dude, and they are deep. I mean, let's be real. They are just as deep as it comes. My future's been on them all year. Of course, we got to throw some dough, just what the heck. For them to win this series pays plus money, Chaz. Come on.
Yeah.
But the key is clinging. And Rob Williams last night. How about Rob balling, dude? He was balling, and he's a huge part to get clinging some rest, right? The clinging, baby. Easily my new favorite Blazer. Love the beard. Good God, you just want to have crack a Coors Light with them after the game, Chaz. But, let's win this one for Batunwich. Let's win this one for Sean's, baby.
Yeah.
And keep doing the thing. Keep grinding, Chaz. You the man. And Rip City.
Nah, dude, I love you, James. You're such a big-timer, man. You're awesome. That's James in Portland, 503-248-0620. Let's go out to Brian in Beaverton. Hey, Brian, what's up? Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
I enjoyed listening to that last caller. That guy's a character. Here's what's in my mind, Chad. I don't know. What I'm thinking about is the similarities between this team and the 76-77 team that finished with almost an identical record. They finished 43-39, and nobody had them doing anything that year. They played in the first round against the Chicago Bulls and Artis Gilmore, and Gilmore's team was favored. It was best 2 out of 3 back then. And we took them to the third game. We won, and we kind of we snuck in. But in the second round, we played the Denver Nuggets and David Thompson, and they were heavily favored, just like San Antonio. They were a great team. But one game at a time, the Blazers started playing, and next thing you know, they win 4-2. And then it's like, wait, we're good. And they started playing better and better. And then in the Western Conference Finals, they played Jabbar, the Lakers, who finished number 1 in the West, and they swept us that year. But in the playoffs, we swept them. And it started, And the thing that I've noticed about the Blazers, I'm a season ticket holder. I go to all the games. About 2 weeks ago, the coach started playing everybody to win because they're trying to get the seeding. I get it. But as they started doing that, they're tough. And I'm really pumped for next year because when Lillard comes back and you've got Lillard on the floor, you can't double team Dandy. You can't double team these guys because Lillard's going to kill you. And so Cronin's put together a good team, and I'm shocked they won that game last night. Like you, I didn't see the 25-10 run at the end coming. But that's the kind of stuff that 76-77 team started doing at the end of the season. So that's all. I'm pumped up. It's good to be back with Rip City. And, appreciate you, Chad. Thanks.
Oh, dude, you got it, man. I'm pumped up, too. Yeah, it's great. That was an awesome game last night. The way it played out, the way that, things, came together late in that fourth quarter for the Blazers was terrific. And a number of individual performances to help get that done. Now, James in Portland, who called in, is also the author of one of the greatest moments in Portland sports radio history when he called in to Kenny Vance.
First up on the phones, it's Jim in Clackamas. Hi, Jim. You're on Wheels at Work.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, because you blocked me from texting on Monday, you can go yourself.
Jim. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, hopefully that did not get on the air.
Right back at you, Jim.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, hopefully that did not get on the air.
Right back at you, Jim.
It's one of the greatest sound bites of all time because, one, there are multiple things that happen there that are fabulous. Bobby Bean, who was running the board at the time, had stepped away to go to the restroom and was not in front of the dump button. So the F-bomb from James went out over the air, which is amazing. Two, you see the difference between a guy like Kenny Vance or Jay Allen when they're under extreme circumstances. Kenny Vance was unfazed by the F-bomb and was trying to literally think back to when he blocked him and then had a great response. And Jay was like stressed out because he's like, Thank you, James. It's a great moment.
First up on the phones, it's Jim in Clackamas. Hi, Jim. You're on Wheels at Work.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, because you blocked me from texting on Monday, you can go yourself.
Okay, that's uncalled
Monday?
for.
Did I block him this Monday?
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, hopefully that did not get on the air.
Right back at you, Jim.
And if you're wondering why Kenny Vance is a legend in my mind, that is just one example of many. I love you, James. You're the guy. You're my guy. James in Portland excited about the team. He's a big Denny Avdia fan. He's a big Donovan Clingan fan. And why wouldn't you be? It's amazing. And he did come up with Batunwich when talking about Nicola Batum. Batunwich.
Batunwich. Batunwich.
It's too much. The stuff that our bosses used to let us get away with on air back in the day is amazing. All right, we'll keep things rolling. I want to hear from you, 503-248-0620. If you're on hold, your phone calls are coming up next. I want to know what you think about the matchup with the Spurs. I want to know what you thought about last night. All of it. 503-248-0620. The Blazers are playoff bound. All right, quick update from the NBA play-in tournament. Right now, the 7-8 matchup in the Eastern Conference. First quarter in Philadelphia. The Magic and Sixers are tied at 16. 7 o'clock on Prime Video. 9-10 matchup in the West. Warriors are at the Clippers. The winner will move on to face the Phoenix Suns on Friday night.
Holiday, pump fake, Brooks is in front of him, back to Denny, 10 to shoot. Under 2 minutes to play. Denny drives and kicks to Grant, corner three. Buries it! Another three for Jeremy Grant. Blazers lead, 107-106. They've erased an 11-point deficit in this quarter.
Yeah, the Blazers are playoff bound. They topped the Suns last night, 114-110. Denny Avdia, 41 points and 12 assists. They will be the 7th seed in the West. They'll match up with the 2 seed San Antonio. Game 1 from San Antonio Sunday evening. Tip-off at 6. Game day with Chris Burkhardt will start at 4 right here in your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
Live from the Coors Light Studios, it's time for the Rip City Drive, hosted by the crazy and often irrational Chad Doing. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill.
With 0.6 of a second to play. 114-110 inbound. It's a Rip City winner. Bring on the Spurs. The Blazers are going to the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. The defense comes up with the biggest play of the night, and they win this game 114-110. What an effort by the Trailblazers. They finished the game on a 25-10 run. Tumani Kamara will get it in. Finds Denny Avdia. Holds the ball up top. Defended by Goodwin. Just sitting on the ball. 17 on the shot clock. He wants movement. Down to 12 on the shot clock. Denny takes off. Drives. Steps through. Puts it in and one. Blazers lead 111-110. And an and one opportunity here for Denny Avdia with 16.1 seconds to play.
That was pretty awesome. Man, that was so good, the way that game finished last night. So proud of the team, and today's a day of celebration, so I want to hear from you. Your thoughts on the game last night, looking ahead to San Antonio. What do you think about the matchup? How about Denny Avdia and all the different individual performances that allowed the Blazers to get that win? 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. Just a reminder, Game 1, Spurs-Blazers will be Sunday evening from San Antonio at Frost Bank Center. Tip-off at 6. Game day will start at 4 right here in your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. And as you found out last night, there's no local television broadcast for any of the teams in the playoffs. So the best way to get local coverage is right here with Travis Demers and the radio team on Rip City Radio 620. Let's go out to the phones. Let's start in Milwaukee. James in Milwaukee. James, I appreciate the call. What's your takeaway from last night?
Chad, I'm not as good as the other games, but I'm going to try.
That's okay, man.
Man, I wanted to call and thank you, thank Travis, thank the whole crew, Kevin and Lamar. We are so lucky. And I think watching the game last night was just an excellent reminder. It's like we are missing out without Kevin and Lamar, but we got Travis. That's great. And 2 more things. Man, you make my day, make my commute better. The highlight reel yesterday with Wheels and Dame, I almost had to pull over. I got all choked up. You know, that's the feeling that I want to have again, right? And also, I need Mr. Big Balls. I need him every day. I need more Mr. Big Balls. So thank you.
Dude, you got it, man. I know what he's talking about. This right here.
I guarantee you Carlisle will call time if the Blazers score here. They've hit their last 7 from the field. Here's Roy dancing his way left. Now against Kidd, backing him down, 10 to shoot. Roy across the lane, a jump hook. Got it! Timeout Dallas! And Rick Carlisle is staggered, stunned, and stupefied. 8:27 remaining, 4th period of Game 4. Do you believe in miracles? So it is a 4-point game again. 1:12 and the clock running. Roy had it poked away, got it back from Nowitzki. Now against Marion. Now he pulls up with a three. Hit is fouled! Yeah! Marion fouled him! A chance to tie the game! 1:06 remaining. What a silly fall! And Roy, this time left no doubt. A three-pointer and a chance to tie the game as Marion undercut him. Roy has it now against Marion. An all-NBA defender. Brandon gets past him. Jumper in the lane. Banks it in! Timeout, Dallas! My eyes don't deceive, so I have to believe. 39.2 seconds remaining. This is simply incredible. The Blazers have come from 23 down and have a 2-point lead at 84-82. 14 seconds for the game. Miller trying to find Roy. Kidd now overplaying. Miller still has it. Andre now, top of the key, throws to Roy. Brandon, three to shoot. Roy, a fadeaway out front from three, missed it. Rebound, Kidd, 3 seconds. Goes ahead to Terry. Get on him, Brandon. A three for the win. Missed it, game over. Somebody's got to pinch me. I must be dreaming. One of the most incredible games this city has ever seen. The Trailblazers rallying. The most incredible games this city has ever seen. The Trailblazers rallying from 23 down, closing the game on a 40-15 run. And they rally to beat the Mavericks 84-82. This best of 7 is tied at 2 games apiece. And once again, we can say it's a great day to be a Blazer. And has there ever been a better day to be a Blazer? Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's vintage wheels. I played that yesterday because I was trying to remind everyone how awesome playoff basketball is. And the Blazers will get a taste of that now for the first time in 5 years. Let's go out to E-Dog in Vancouver. E-Dog, welcome to the show, my friend. What was your takeaway from last night?
Big Bad Chad, what's going on, man?
No, it's all good.
It's cool, man. It's cool to see, especially, coming at the end of the year. That's, they end the season, the regular season on a winning record, winning record for the year. You win your play-in game, and now they're headed to San Antonio. And, I think for a lot of us looking, at the beginning of the season, we didn't see this. And so it makes it even better, man. It's like you go into this stuff and you see it as, nothing. There's nothing to lose. You know what I mean? And the future looks so bright for this team, man. A bunch of young dudes. And, man, I'm so stoked for the series coming up. Sunday, man, they're going to throw it down in San Antonio, dude. And I'll tell you what, man, it's nice to see one of my teams doing good because the Jets, we all know, absolutely stink. So it's cool to see, man. Anyways, I'll let you get back to it, man. Go Blazers.
You got it, buddy. I appreciate you. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. Big thanks to E-Dog for chiming in. It is great to see. Oh, speaking of playoff basketball, if you haven't heard this, and I haven't played this in a while, Dave Barberis, this goes back to 2019 when Dame hit that shot against Oklahoma City. He was able to record the sound in the arena with no play-by-play call, just to give you an idea of what it was like when Dame was dribbling the ball, when he put up the shot, just to hear the crowd noise. Take a listen to this. It's pretty sweet. Isn't that pretty sweet how it got so quiet right before the shot went in? We titled that the Roargasm. 503-248-0620. Let's go out to Eddie, who's in Vancouver. Eddie, welcome to the Rip City Drive, man. What's your takeaway from last night, brother?
Man, Chad, when I think about calling to your show, man, so much be on my mind. I'm going to want to think about this when I finally get a chance to talk to you guys. But first off, Chad, props to you once again. Remember that interview you did a couple of summers ago when we got Denny? You talked to a guy from Israel, knew Denny. He told us about what Denny was going to bring to our team.
Yeah.
That's spectacular. To see that from what happened from then to now was amazing, man. So props there. Another thing, Chad, you haven't felt this good since, like 12 weeks ago when you guys were in that AFC Championship game? You haven't had this feeling in a minute, huh?
I know, man. It's so nice. So awesome. I love it when my teams win.
Right? So anyway, with the other thing I want to talk about, man, was with the, I know everyone wants to talk about it right now, but with that Joe Blazer series coming out, I just want to let the Blazer fans know something. Man, when the Joe Blazer era was going on, those guys, man, we listen to your show too, Chad, because you're accessible to the players, and we listen to you to the perspectives to talk to those guys like Casey, who takes us to church and, just drops knowledge on us, man. But when the Joe Blazers were, the Joe Blazers, man, if you went out in Portland, dude, you would see the Blazers. They were accessible. They were everywhere, man. For instance, when we played Minnesota Timberwolves and Wally Zerbiak was a rookie, I was at a club downtown. I think it was Polyesters. Here comes this guy just looking like John Travolta from Saturday Night Fever walking in the club. You know what I mean? I'm like, who's that with the big platinum chain? It was Wally Zerbiak. And then right behind him was Flip Saunders, rest in peace, and Kevin Garnett. You know what I did? I went and grabbed my drink, and I was standing right on the shoulders with Flip Saunders, like, man, Flip, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with the Blazers right now? Man, you guys, Pippen's hurt right now. Man, you'll be all right. You know what I mean? Just, and Kevin Garnett just right, standing right behind, man. Those are some good times. Some Portland Bonzi will. Standing at the bar, Bonzi will, hey, what you drinking? Here you go. I just think we just got a bad rep too. The cops, man, were kind of hardcore. Like in Washington County too. I graduated from Sunset High School in 1990. Okay, strictly enforced. Okay, Washington County. You do not be breaking the law, drinking, or trying to smoke some weed and driving around. Because if you get pulled over, and you're going to get pulled over if you're doing dirt, man. But anyway, just those Blazer era, man. I don't know if there will ever be a point like that in Portland where you would just go out and you just see other players, Olden Polynese at the bar dancing, and another big reason because of that was because Terrell Brandon and Damon Stoudemire both in Portland being in the NBA at the same time. So a lot of the other players, when they came to Portland that played the Blazers, they would go to Terrell Brandon's barbershop in Northeast Portland, which is the hood, and, they get their hair cut, and, they're already in the north, hey, go to this club and blah, blah, blah. So it was just, it was not only to be a kick-ass basketball team, but, it was just a fun time to be a young adult in the Portland scene. It wasn't, now it's just kind of, you'll be lucky. I would imagine I'm 53 years old. I haven't been out in years, but I don't know. I just don't see it being like how it used to be. But anyway, that's what I got to say, man. But it's a good day to be the Blazer. One more thing, Chad. On that call with Wills, man, that day, I worked at Burgerville at the convention center for 8 years. I worked at Kachina back in the day with Dunleavy during the Joe Blazer era. That's why I love it. I love that team so much too. Oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought, Chad. Don't do this to me. God dang it, man.
It's okay, man. Don't worry about it, Eddie.
But
I lose my train of thought too sometimes. I lose my train of thought. It's okay. It's all right. It happens. You're allowed to lose your train of thought occasionally on the radio. I do it every day. I have not watched the Jailblazer documentary yet because it came out right in the middle of all the madness with the Blazers. So I will get to it tonight or tomorrow. I want to compare the documentary to what I've been told by Dwight and Carey and some of the people who were around to cover that team or those teams during that era. My experience with sports, if a team wins, the fans will be okay with any type of behavior. If the team starts to lose, then the behavior becomes a problem. That's usually how that works in sports, typically, right? And maybe we look at those teams differently had they not collapsed against the Lakers and won the championship that year, back in 2000. All right, I want to hear from you, 503-248-0620. The Blazers are playoff bound for the first time in 5 years. Game 1 against San Antonio in the first round will be Sunday night. Tip-off at 6. Game day starts at 4 right here in your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, telephone number is 503-248-0620. A little Dukes of Hazzard there, 503-248-0620. I frankly just want to hear from you. You know, your take on last night, what we saw. I thought it was terrific. You know, the Blazers, the way they were able to battle. Denny Avdia with 41 points and 12 assists. He was sensational. He truly was. And after the game, the crew from Amazon Prime caught up with Denny.
Drew Holiday has 95 playoff games. As a team combined, you guys have 116. Yeah. Can you just talk about his impact in that locker room and having a champion around you guys?
I mean, you can't take it away from him. You know, he's a champion, and I feel like the way he talks to us, and also, like, if we need help, how he guides us on the court, he's doing a great job. That's what he's been doing, you know, since he started playing. I feel like he's a leader, and he's doing a great job of, you know, staying together, like making sure that we're connected and our camaraderie is good. So, I mean, big ups to Drew.
Congrats, Danny. Nice chain. Looking good on you. Looking forward to the playoffs. Now you got the Spurs. What do you think of that matchup?
I mean, they're a great team, very talented. You know, they're young too, so they don't have a lot of playoff experience as well. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a fight. We're gonna bring everything we got, and I really believe in the guys. We can do everything we want. Therefore, staying together, connected, and we'll be ready to play.
Jenny, you all got Jeremy Grant back, got Shaedon Sharpe back recently, and with the exception of Dame, of course, tonight was the first time that you were really fully healthy all season. What is this team capable of at that full strength?
As I said, I feel like if we're together, connected, and everybody's healthy and ready to play, I feel like we're a dangerous team. You know, everybody can do a lot of things on the court. We're connected, we're together, and we fight. We fight till the last minute, and that's what's important in the team. You know, especially when Dame's going to come back, it's going to be big for us. But for right now, we're just staying together, focused. We're going to get ready, and the job is not done yet. So can't wait for the playoff.
Denny, you have to be feeling good. I mean, you were on fire tonight.
I'm tired.
In a moment like this, with so much on the line, I mean, what does it really do for you? You seem to really like these bright lights in the big moments.
I feel like since I started playing, I was, you know, I'm not afraid of the bright lights. You know, I'm a competitor. I come to the game to win every possession, and I really want it. Like, I work hard for it. I'm extra hours in the gym. You know, I'm trying to be a leader on the team, and I don't have the words right now to how happy I am that I had the chance to make it to the playoffs for the first time. Well, for the first time.
You're not trying to be a leader, you are, man. Just leading by the way you play. They got to follow you when guys see you going downhill like that. Making the plays you make, it's inspiring. So there's no trying. You are a leader.
Absolutely. Headed to the playoffs, the Blazers, for the first time since 2020, 2021. Can you give us a little hold up of the chain? Show us your bling?
All right, there's Denny Avdia with the crew last night. Let's go out to the phones. BT wants to talk a little Blazers. BT, welcome to the show, my friend. What was your takeaway from last night?
Hey, it was an instant classic, Chad. I'm pretty excited about that. You know, I was hanging out with the wife until about 6 minutes left in the game, and then we flipped it on, and I was tripping. And she said, hey, we're only down by 12. Don't even worry about it. She would have been more concerned. We had the lead, and sure enough, how cold was Denny, man, when he hit the game winner there? And he just walked off like it was second quarter, and there was 11 minutes left in the second quarter.
He definitely...
That was something else.
Oh, he's got a flair for the dramatic. I love his toughness. He's one of those guys in the league that embraces the physicality of the game, and I just thought what was great about that moment for me is that he just basically told everyone to get out of the way. He had no plans to pass that basketball. He took it upon himself to make sure he delivered, and he certainly did. It was awesome.
Yeah, and then did you see him? He went over to Dame after it all went, you know, right after and dapped up Dame, man.
Yeah.
That shows respect to the OG who's going to come back next year. And look, this year we're just going to make some noise. Maybe we knock the Spurs off, right? And we have a lot of fun, and we're going to all enjoy this. You know, this isn't our year as much as I'd love it to be. Anything could happen. But next year, man, this thing's about to take off for the Portland Trail Blazers. I am so excited. It's like way back in the day when you came on the sports radio with Gavin, man, and all of a sudden Chad in Portland took off for the sports radio scene in Portland. What year was that, Chad? Was that
2008.
You and Gavin in the morning show?
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, man. See, it's about to blow up for the Blazers, and I'm just so excited for it. Hey, and I'm sorry about your boy Bo Nix missing the playoffs and those pretenders making the Super Bowl. But Rip City, I wish Wheels was here for that last night. What a game. What a game. Way to go with the season. Way to usher in the new owner. And let's have some fun with this, brother.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. I appreciate that phone call, BT. Nice work. Yeah, Denny Avdia was freaking awesome last night. He was great. And he did walk over to dap up Dame, which I thought was great. But just the way that he knew the situation, and he was not going to pass that ball. He knew he was going to get to the foul line or score, or both. And he got both, which is impressive. Now, what's really classic is that Jalen Green called out the officiating after the game. He said that Denny Avdia got calls and the Suns did not. That's very interesting. Let's take a listen to this nonsense.
I'm calling that same foul. I don't know. They got to call that both ways if they're going to call it for one person all night. So, it's my opinion.
Yeah, we don't care about your opinion. The Suns last night made 23 free throws. The Blazers attempted 23 free throws. Look, the officiating was garbage. I agree. But if you're a Suns fan or a player, you cannot complain.
I'm calling that same foul. I don't know. They got to call that both ways if they're going to call it for one person all night. So, it's my opinion.
Yeah, close your pie hole, please. Hey, Jalen, we don't care about your opinion. You lost the game. You gave up a 25-10 run, and Denny Avdia kicked your ass. That's all. You had a nice game, 35, but Denny had 41 points and 12 assists. And the Suns were rewarded for their efforts last night because they were the aggressors for the majority of the game until Denny just decided to take over. I don't know. Yeah, shut up, please. I don't want to hear about that. The Suns were not victims last night. Let's just put it that way. All right? Come on. It would have been helpful had the Blazers made a few more free throws for the game.
You redefine what's
no,
possible.
Shut up. Gosh, I hate that so much. So last night, the Blazers, 17 of 23 from the foul line for 74%. That's not good enough. Got to be better. They did make 17 threes, and I don't know how, but we're plus 24 from beyond the arc. It's amazing. The Suns, 23 of 32 from the foul line. So they got 9 more attempts than the Blazers did. And yet Jalen Green's upset about that. You know, the Blazers, look, there's a lot of teachable moments in that game. Donovan Clingan losing his dome for a moment and deciding to, kind of choke out and throw down Dylan Brooks. I understand it. I would do the same thing. But you can't do that in that situation. Shaedon Sharpe with the horrific turnover, but he recovered nicely with a sweet pass to Jeremy Grant in the corner for the three, and then played terrific defense on Devin Booker to prevent the bucket, which set up Denny for the game winner. That was nice. And the Blazers' offense in the third quarter into the fourth quarter was abysmal. They couldn't make shots. They put up 22 points in like 17 minutes of game action. They had 18 points in the third quarter. There were things that you could be concerned about. There's no question about that. No question about that.
As you redefine
There we go
what's
again.
possible.
You know what I need in my life? Let me tell you what I need in my life. More pop-up ads. In today's technology, whatever. Thanks a lot, ESPN. Appreciate you. Oh, my gosh. Every time you go on, too, you got to set the autoplay off. I don't want autoplay. No one wants autoplay, especially on ads, you morons. Gosh, I hate that kind of crap. Oh, it drives me crazy. Oh, autoplay. Oh, my gosh. All right, 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. Tamani Kamara was very happy after the game. Travis Demers had a chance to catch up with him. Let's take a listen to that.
Tumani, come on. Congratulations, man. Your first taste of playoff basketball
Yes,
against the
sir.
team that drafted you. You got the win. You're down 11 in the fourth quarter. Defense stepped up and you made shots. How are you guys able to put it together down the stretch of this one and come away with the biggest win of your career?
Stay composed, man. Stay composed. They had a big run with 7 minutes left. They were up 10. Stay composed, man. Trust the process, man. We have veterans in this team that really keep us composed the whole game. Can't stop defensively. That's what we've been all year. Trust our defense, and Denny was making big plays offensively, man. There's nothing to say.
Yeah, not too bad to have him on your side tonight,
Sure.
but playoff basketball is different. There was a very clear physicality in this game. What did you notice in postseason basketball, and how did you guys respond to it?
Man, I don't know. I'm finally going to the playoff, man. Yes, sir. Let's do it. Appreciate you, brother. You too, fan. Welcome back. Yeah, it's just, man, I don't know. It's just fun, man, to play to win, to play for something again. You know, it's something that I miss for real. Yeah. That's why I play the sport, you know. So yeah, it just feel great, man. I don't know what to say.
Hey, Jeremy just walked by you. He's back. This team is healthy. Tonight was the first game this season, with the exception of Dame, this team was healthy. What kind of momentum do you guys have right now?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, B-Dot. Yeah, I mean, stay composed, man. Like I said, like, I feel like being able to have everybody back is the first time this year. It feels good. Yeah, man, we just got to keep it rolling. It was not even a good game for us today, and we was able to find a way to win, and I think we're gonna be just fine. I like our matchup, so yeah, we just got to stay composed, like I said.
I can hear it in your voice, man. I don't know if you're going to touch the ground. You might float to the locker room. You sound great, man. Great job tonight. Congratulations. We'll see you on the plane.
Appreciate you, man. I'll see y'all.
All right, there's Tumani Kamara. I mean, I love watching him battle. I love watching him defend. I like what Tiago said a few days ago about how he can just go to Tumani and say, hey, I need you to set the tone for us defensively. I mean, he's an Iron Man, the only guy, one of 5 guys to start and play in every single game. Love that. And the great part about Tumani is that if he's having a night where he's not making the 3, he's still going to have a tremendous impact on the game with his defense and the way that he kind of sets the tone, the intensity that he brings. You know, the Blazers are developing into a tough basketball team, and I like that. Not a finesse team, but a tough team. Denny Avdia is a tough basketball player. He embraces physicality. Donovan Clingan is a rim protector and a great rebounder and an intimidating force for the Blazers. You got to know where he's at on the floor. Robert Williams brings that. Drew Holiday is incredibly tough. Matisse Thybulle in his defense. You know, I just like this. You know, there's a certain makeup this group has. I mean, they're not a perfect basketball team, but they got a lot of nice pieces. And the cool part now, I mean, look at it this way. If I would have told you, you know, at the beginning of the year, or let's say, you know, after the first quarter of the season when the team was decimated by injury, if I would have told you that, hey, this team's going to make the postseason, take on the San Antonio Spurs, and be 100% healthy for the first time all year, I would have taken that. Would you? Absolutely. So I'm really excited about where this team is at. But Avdia was really tough down the stretch. 14 of his 41 in the fourth. And his willingness to attack the paint time after time after time. And even with the missed free throws, he knew that he had to continue to attack. And the team continued to fight even when they got down by double digits with that, you know, big run by the Suns to open the fourth. When we had given up on the game, they had not. And they just continued to fight. And it's an interesting group. Very likable group. Tough team. More defensive-minded. And remember, they had dramatic improvement on that end of the floor this year. They finished the regular season tied for 11th with Charlotte for defensive rating. That's an improvement. I mean, this team's moving in the right direction. But this matchup with the Spurs is going to test that because the Spurs are well coached. They move the basketball really well, and they've got talent, starting with Victor Wembanyama, a player that I just haven't seen. He is like Shaq or some of these guys that come into the league, like Magic, 6'9" point guard that can do everything. No one had seen that. Shaquille O'Neal, at his size and with that strength, Victor Wembanyama. There are just certain players that come along where you're like, I haven't seen that before. Victor would be one of those guys. So it's going to be a tough matchup for Portland. But this group, you know, like Denny said after the game, if we stay connected, we're healthy, we can be a dangerous team. And I do believe that. And it will come down to the same things against San Antonio that we've talked about all year. Turnovers, offensive rebounding, second chance points, staying connected on defense, making your free throws. They're going to have to win in the margins to put themselves in a position to win games. So the first 3 games, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday back here in Portland. That Friday night, next Friday, a week from Friday, that Motor Center is going to be epic. Building will be packed. The crowd's going to be loud. It's going to be a very good atmosphere. Obviously. You know it and I know it. So we'll see how things shake out. Checking the scoreboard right now. We do have the other 2 playing games going on tonight. Right now in the East, we've got that 7-8 matchup, Orlando at Philadelphia. Sixers are on top 48-46 with just under 3 minutes to play first half. And then coming up at 7 o'clock on Prime Video, the Warriors are in L.A. at Intuit Dome to take on the Clippers. The winner of that game will move on to face the Suns on Friday night with that game tipping off at 7. The Blazers are in. Their position is secured. They'll take on the Spurs game 1 on Sunday. Tip off at 6. Game day at 4, all right here in your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, Seth Hoyland standing by. He'll have Hops baseball coming up at 6:15. Seth is big timer. I love him. Big props to Seth Hoyland and all the work that he does. Blazers Spurs game 1 coming up on Sunday from Frost Bank Center down in San Antonio, where the women are big and the basketball is good, according to Charles Barkley. I just saw this stat. This is pretty sweet. Denny Avdia joins Damian Lillard and Clyde Drexler as the only Trailblazers with 40-plus points and 10-plus assists in a postseason game. That's pretty good company right there. Denny joining Dame and Clyde. 40-plus points, 10-plus assists in a playoff game. Nice work, Denny. He's such a good basketball player. And such a good dude, too. And I like this nickname that's floating around. I think Blake Griffin dropped it on him. Downhill Denny. That's the way he plays. Downhill Denny. I wonder if he likes that nickname better than Tooth Monty. When Tamani Kamara got the tooth knocked out of his pie hole. 503-248-0620. I did do something pretty sweet yesterday, though. I stopped by for a golf lesson. My man Nick Warren out at Golf Tech in Beaverton. He's like Yoda. And I'm gearing up for golf season, all pumped up. And so I went through, we did an equipment check. I got new clubs like 6 years ago. What is it, 2026? It was like 7 years ago, 2019. And, of course, I play a lot of golf. And so, there's some wear patterns on the clubs and so forth. So he thought it would be a good idea to do an equipment check to see and compare my clubs to new models. And I was blown away because the spin rate, the distance, the launch angle, you don't realize it when you're playing every day with the same clubs, but over the course of time, the equipment starts to break down. And what I like about Nick and what he does, and it's a great setup, is what Nick will do is they've got the system. It's all based on the simulator. And so he drops these little stickers on the front of your club. And so all the data that you need in terms of spin rate, launch angle, distance, everything with the club, all the data is right up there on the computer screen in front of you. And so what he had me do was just hit my clubs. He had me hit new clubs, a couple of different brands. I tried some Titleist, Mizuno, which I was currently using, Callaway. And he just has you hit different clubs, different brands. And then we compare the data. And you just look at the data. Everything is based off of data. So if my old clubs would have been giving the data that he was looking for, he would have said, you know what, just keep playing with the clubs you got. But the new equipment was a significant difference after 7 years. And so we went through and took a look at the data, and I'm going to stick with the Mizuno irons and got a new set. And the whole process was awesome. And then because I've been playing longer now, swing is obviously better over the course of the 7 years I've been working with Nick. Changed the shafts, a stiffer shaft. And again, it's all based on data. So if you haven't gotten set up for clubs, if you've not gotten your own set, if you've not been fitted for clubs, I would recommend the process. If you're looking to buy, if that's something that is interesting to you, like what I like is about Nick out of Golf Tech is that he's not trying to push anything on you. He's not trying to push a brand. He's not trying to push anything. He's just going to have you hit the clubs and look at the data, and then you can make the choice. And then if you have a choice between a couple of clubs where the data is similar or equal, just say what feels better, what looks better in your eye. And then you can make your choice from there. So the whole thing was pretty awesome. But I just didn't realize that, after 6-7 years, that the breakdown was that drastic. But the whole process was pretty sweet. So I'm geeked. Even though the Trailblazers are destroying the beginning of my golf season by making the postseason, I'm okay with that because last night was so much fun. I'm willing to sacrifice my personal life if it means the Trailblazers succeed. Last night's game was so much fun. It was a wild ride. It started out bad, and then it got really good. And then right before halftime, it got really annoying. And then the third quarter was just painful because the Blazers couldn't score. They had 18 points. And then the start of the fourth quarter, the first 5 minutes, it's like, the game's over. Suns are going to win. And then all of a sudden, you're like, that's a good play. They got another defensive stop. Denny Avdija was going wild. Jeremy Grant stepped up with a couple of big threes. And then all of a sudden, you're like, they could win this game. And they did. And it was great because I heard from so many people last night. And Blazer fans really excited about the whole experience. And that's what I love most about these type of moments is we get to share in them together. And it's going to be fun because it's the same thing coming up on Sunday. We'll all watch the games. We'll react to the games. And then we're all going to pile into Moda Center a week from Friday to get ready for Game 3. I mean, I have simple desires. Just get the split in the first two so that Game 3 at Moda on Friday would be off the chain. That's what I'm looking for. Get the split and make Game 3 unreal. If they get a split in San Antonio, that Game 3 Moda Center will be back to being its old usual self. Loud and crazy. How great will that be? Now, can they get the split? I don't know. I saw the point spread. They're 10.5-point underdog in game number 1. And that's understandable based on what the Spurs did this year. The Spurs were a dominant basketball team. And they won the season series with the Oklahoma City Thunder, if you can believe that. That's pretty good. But the Spurs this year finished at 62-20. They won 20 more games than the Blazers did. They finished 2 games behind the Thunder, who finished at 64-18. The Spurs had the second best record in the NBA. 3 teams with 60 or more wins. Oklahoma City had 64, San Antonio had 62, and the Detroit Pistons finished at 60-22. Now, I'd make the argument for Portland, who finished 42-40. Had they been healthy throughout the course of the entire year, they would have won 50 games. Minnesota finished at 49-33. So the Blazers, had they been healthy throughout the year, they probably would have been the 6th seed. But they weren't. And every team deals with injuries, but the Blazers found a way to overcome. And that's part of their story this year, which is great. All right, big thanks to all of you. So much fun today.